Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Freaky Fast broadcast presentation of 120 laps here at Richmond International Raceway. We are here under the lights at Richmond, and as usual, the Underdog Racing League is brought to you by Ultimate Siding and Gutters LLC. Our companies say we are the best in the business. We specialize in residential and commercial construction. We have been in the business for over 15 years. We only use the best materials, and we're dedicated to completing each project in a timely manner. There's nothing more important than having a house to call a home. Ultimate Siding and Gutters. So, I am Carl Pooler in the booth, visited by Billy here, and as usual, we have Robert Moore in our production cast. Again, welcome, Billy. You're the second week at the Underdog Racing League, another short track. What do you expect here at Richmond, this 3/4 mile racetrack?
Yeah, it's going to be a fun time here tonight at Richmond. Patience is always going to be the top one thing that everybody's going to need because you got to make it to the end to get some points here. 3/4 of a mile long, short track, or they considered this track as a short super speedway. Fun fact about this at this track was it was first opened in 1946 as a dirt track. And the other fun fact is after 1991, all events held are done at nighttime. Pretty cool.
Definitely cool. I love seeing the night racing, cool track, night lights, dirt track racing always special, and they usually try to hold these events on a Saturday night, like the old dirt tracks. You can find your local dirt tracks just about anywhere, so that's always exciting. But here at Richmond, 3/4 of a mile, we have, of course, our Mark Whitley leading the practice field at 22.29. So, of course, Mark Whitley's fast. All these drivers, like you said, needing patience, but in order to get to the front, you're going to have to bump a couple cars out of your way. This is definitely a bottom line dominated track, and I have a feeling we will see the bump and run employed multiple times through the night. Billy, we saw a lot of cautions last week. There's a possibility we could repeat that this week.
Yeah, it could even be double. This is everybody's losing control and sometimes going in too hard. So you got to be patient when you're trying to get into the turns. When you look at the turns, you got 14-degree banking. You have 8-degree banking on the front stretch. And surprisingly, on the back stretch, you have 2 degrees of banking. So this is going to be a big change as the night goes on.
And that's why they call it a super speedway. It actually, for a short track, has a lot of banking, just about all around the track. But with this Xfinity cars in the package, they do produce some downforce, but the little spoiler, kind of high power, these cars really like to get out from underneath you. At corner exit, I think, is going to be really important. Putting the power down, not spinning the wheels, not only for, position's sake, but also to save those tires. We know cool tires will definitely be slick early on, but maybe older tires down the road can help you get through those corners just a bit better, as we're watching the 5 of our Jason Fensler, who's now second in the points after last week's performance, hunting down the 48s of Parker Johnson in practice. But as we end practice, he will be looking to be one of the faster cars. As we see, he's up there in 3rd place. So as usual, we have our kind of our guard, Mark Whitley, Jason Fensler. There's Ian Baker, though, running a really fast time in the 8 car. So a lot of front runners, a lot of cautions can shake up the strategy, Billy. So these guys are going to be ready to throw down a really fast lap here at qualifying, because field position, track position is going to be king.
Yeah, great track position is definitely going to be a key in this race as well. So, you want to start out front, stay out front as long as you can, and hopefully avoid some of the carnage that's going to happen in the back of the field tonight.
But as we witnessed last week, sometimes being in the front doesn't always guarantee you an easy way through. There were wrecks. There were some incidents, including that very end checkered flag Cedric Hunter running out of fuel. So you know that this is going to be a crowded racetrack, and anywhere you are, there's always that possibility for getting into an incident. As we're watching the 13 right there of Cedric Hunter, he was really fast last week. It took him about half a race to kind of get the car under him, kind of have the track come to him. But that second half, he was really fast and was able to hold off those other contenders of Mark Whitley and Jason Fensler. So again, he's going to throw down a time, and it's going to be a decent 22.97, and ain't going to be the fastest as we have cars starting to really fly their times. Justice Murphy up there running a good 22.5. So these guys already hitting the track hard and hitting it running.
Yeah, definitely. I think, what the key factor is about qualifying. Remember, it's at night. That's one thing. Second, you got to get those tires warmed up before you even take a lap. So qualifying could be really fun tonight.
Well, not only qualifying, but definitely these restarts. We have our stage breaks at lap 30 and lap 70. Those will be guaranteed restarts. And if we saw last week, we'll hold up cautions, breed cautions. And these guys, when they were bunched together, they were really beating and banging on the doors. So another short track, another opportunity for some close, really action-packed racing and some bumping and banging. We had a couple DNFs last week, so this is going to be interesting to see who of our leaders can stay and keep their cars clean and make it to the end and get those points.
Carl, I have a question for you, especially about tonight. What's your prediction on cautions?
It's really hard to say. This racetrack doesn't race like its typical short track. It's 3/4 of a mile, but it's banked really well. As we're watching some of these qualifying laps go down, we saw the 84 Cody Dorsey kind of get loose there in 3 and 4. So it's really hard to say. We've seen this track have a lot of long green flag runs, but on the flip side of the coin, we've had the track really have it broken up a lot of cautions just by how it races and how the other opponents race each other. And with the Underdog Racing League, these past couple of weeks have been really exciting. They've had a really good showing of almost 30 cars, so looks like we're going to have nearly that tonight. Another 25, 30 cars on the track, so this could be really chaotic, especially on these restarts and the green flags. It's going to be really interesting, Bailey. I don't want to put any money on cautions because I will definitely jinx it.
Oh, to me, looking at it, I think it's going to be over 11 tonight. That's what I'm seeing. I think 11 cautions tonight. I don't think we're going to see any green flag pit stops. Hopefully they can prove me wrong tonight.
The fuel load is going to be interesting. That last stage of 50 laps is going to be interesting. It'll be pushing it. We saw Cedric Hunter last week. He was able to make it on strategy and ran out on that last corner, costing him the win. He still got a top 3, but man, we all go for that win. But right now, look at that. Mark Whitley there at the top, followed by Cedric Hunter. Ray Lane was a really hard charger last week at Worldwide Technology Raceway, so he's looking really good already on the short tracks this season. So far, Jason Fensler is down there in 6th, 7th, so he's going to have his work cut out for him at the beginning of this race as well.
Yeah, absolutely, especially starting in the middle of the pack there. That could bring a little trouble. Hopefully not. Hopefully we see some great green flag racing tonight and make his way back up to the top, but I'm pretty sure he will. That's one of my picks for tonight.
And he's always a favorite pick, has the speed, and he definitely knows how to get through the traffic, as we saw last week. But as qualifying is wrapped up, here we are showing the lineup for tonight's race at Richmond International Raceway. Starting out in first, we have Mark Whitley. In second is Cedric Hunter. Third, we have Ray Lane. Ian Baker will take that 4th spot, and wrapping out your top 5 will be Jacob Sirkovich. Jason Fensler there in 6th. Nick Alves in 7th. Trevor Earhart, previous championship winner, in 8th. Justice Murphy in 9th. And Martin Morales in 10th at the top 10 starting spot. So that's good. Starting in 11th, we have Brad Ringer. Blake Cook there in 12th. Christopher Heights in 13th. Parker Johnston in 14th. Grant Thorpe in 15th. Dylan Noah Walton is going to take that 16th spot. Kevin Orlando Jr. is going to go 17th. Peyton Presley in 18th. James Catrone there in 19th. John Magner in 20th. And then Scott Kerberg is going to wrap up all the drivers that laid down a lap at 21st. We have Douglas Walcott and Cody Dorsey there at the back with not putting out a qualifying time. So here we are, 23 cars at this 3/4 mile of track. Billy, I've seen Mark's car out there in that first spot. It's going to be interesting. We saw last week how the restarts, the really ideal lane was that outside lane. It's going to be interesting to see this. Typically, again, the inside lane prevails, but we saw that momentum on the outside lane. It's going to be fun to watch as the night progresses.
Yeah, I can't wait to see this race. I love Richmond. Should be great for all these drivers racing tonight, and good luck to them all. And let's see them take the big win here tonight, and it's going to be a fun one.
Luck is going to have to be a part of it, as it usually is with racing. We saw Cedric Hunter again last week be on the wrong side of that run out at turn 4 right before the checkered flag. So luck could possibly be with him tonight. He may be looking to repeat that strategy again, but we will soon find out. Shorter track. It's a little smoother track as well, more even, a typical tri-oval, but much, much smaller. So these guys, as they get all lined up and get those belt straps tightened up, we will get racing here. But Billy, I have a feeling these guys, there's not going to be a lot of patience. I know you always want to be patient, but I just don't see it happening tonight, seeing all these cars on top of each other.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. It's going to be aggressive driving for some of these guys to get up there because they want to, overall get points they can here tonight, and hopefully a W.
And it's also interesting to see, we're going to have to deal with lap traffic as well. How patient will those leaders be? How many incidents will the lap traffic cause as we get rolling here at Richmond International Raceway? Again, Mark Whitley in that inside pole position. Cedric Hunter there outside pole in the second spot. Yeah, and that is correct. You have the 5 of Jason Fensler in the third lane on the outside, so not a great qualifying run, but he will definitely be in the running later on in the race, so don't count him out. But here we go. The pace car is going to make the left turn next lap as we go 1-2 go. A lot of these guys, you can see already warming up the tires, dumping the clutch, weaving back and forth. I think that's going to be critical, Billy, throughout the night.
Yeah, I mean, warming up those tires, getting a little heat in them so they can get that grip going into turn 1. And, man, it's going to be so exciting tonight to see these boys get in action here at Richmond.
And I know these drivers are excited as well. They were talking about it all day, and these guys love this track. So obviously we have, Ray Lane and Ian Baker there behind our 2 front runners, wanting to make a move early on. These guys have had great qualifying runs, maybe a little bit of rough luck in their races so far this season, but they are looking to turn that luck around. But as I'm talking here, the pace car goes down into pit lane. They are 2x2. Green flag is in the air. We are green here at Richmond International Raceway. Cedric Hunter on the outside getting a great start there. On the outside going into turn 1, but Mark Whitley taking the shortest way around the track on the inside, but Cedric Hunter not giving him anything as the 6 gets a little loose there, trying to hold that inside line, but right there we can see Ray Lane behind him, hoping and just waiting for these 2 drivers to make a mistake. And as I am talking, that was a whole lap, so laps here are short. We're talking 22 to 25 laps. It looks like we are seeing a car on the grass there. That's the 3 of Jacob Sirkovich, but looks like he is green. We stay green here at Richmond.
Yeah, we're coming into turn number 3 to 4 here, and it looks like our Mark Whitney will take the lead here and gain himself a point here as we're still rolling around to Richmond on the back street. It's the 6, the 13, the 44, and the 8 car here currently.
And there's Jason Fensler. He looks like he's at the tail end of the top 5. He is looking to make his way up there, but he has to deal with the 8 of Ian Baker in front of him. Definitely good runnings from all of these guys so far. They didn't race side by side very long. We saw Cedric Connor kind of lose that outside lane earlier and Mark Wheatley make the pass, but as we ride along the 5 of Jason Fensler, he's whittling that thing actually pretty smoothly. Not a lot of bumps, as you can see. He's not having to overcorrect, really smooth on the wheel. Looks like he's going to be taking his time in here in the early goings. All the top 10 get bonus points at the end of the stage, and yeah, that's 25 laps away, but at 25 seconds a lap, this track really takes its laps away really, really quickly.
Yes, they do. As we just saw the in-car cam of the 5-car Jason Fensler there, working his magic, trying to get around Ian Baker, but Ian Baker is strong. Look at that 76 car. That's looking pretty sharp car as well. I love the old Skull Bandit.
And that's the 76 of Brad Ringer. He started 11th. Right now, he's one of the largest movers of the race. He's up in 8th, so he's having a good, strong showing early on, making moves and taking advantage of all the cars pushed together. But there in front is the 9 of Justice Murphy. He had a fast car last week, but got caught up in a couple of incidents. So, again, short tracks giveth the short tracks taketh away. You got to be careful, but a lot of these guys are showing that patience we talked about earlier and single file early on, but won't be long until we're having to deal with the lap traffic and move back and forth. And I think that's where we're going to really see the true leader shine, is who can get through traffic the easiest and the most efficiently. It looks like Fensler is going to make the pass on Baker for 4th position. So Fensler making his way to the front again.
Yeah, he's making his way, so that's good for him. You remember, Carl, you need to throw out what happened last week, and you got to move on to this week, right? So, yeah, it was bad that the 9-car Justice Murphy had some incidents, but he recovered. And then, got to work your magic. Got to continue fighting to get up to the top.
And as we are watching, we have plenty of fighting going on with the 25 of Trevor Earhart, last season's champion. He is trying to get around the 8 of Ian Baker as well for the 5th position, just like Jason Fensler did, but he can't take too long. You don't want to burn up your tires too early in a run. 10 laps, we have 20 laps to go in this stage, and he's already looking good for stage points. So don't want to do anything too aggressive too early to mess up your chance at stage points, but it looks like he has that entry, corner entry just a little bit better than the 8. So be careful, keep an eye on that, because a lot of these drivers are going to make or try to make a lot of their moves as they're diving and braking into turns 1 and 3 tonight, as we watch all those cars get really close together, and as they exit the corner, they're going to all accordion back out. But there is a blanket you could throw between 5th and 9th right now. But right now, we're looking at the 2 of Martin Morales. He's sitting there in 10th. That is the last points-paying spot for the stage. He's going to want to try and keep that as long as he can, but it depends on how hard he's going to defend from Blake Cook. He has a decent cushion, but you never know. Using your tires too early here can burn them up, and you can be in a really bad spot early on.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you there. You want to keep everything going, keep everything straight, and try to maintain your tires, but you don't want to be too slow to where you're starting to give up your positions. Right now the field is looking pretty spread out right now, so that's good. Looks like we're going to have green flag racing, and who knows, maybe we get our first green pit stop tonight. That'd be cool.
Man, green flag pit stops at Richmond, all I can hear in my mind is carnage. That'll be so exciting to watch if it does happen to pass. But we're looking at the 24 and Nick Alves. He started in 7th and he fell back to 9th, so he's one of those drivers on the opposite end of the movement spectrum. He's going backwards. It's not what you want to see, but it is possible. Nick Alves typically has the long run speed. It seems to me he saves the tires a little better, so it's okay if he loses those spots early on, but at the same time, especially here at Richmond, you don't want to wait too long and let too many cars by. You got to make your moves when you can, especially if it's for those playoff spots, and being right there in that 9th, 10th position could be a little dangerous. You don't want to make a mistake and put yourself in a bad spot and not get any of those stage points at the end of the stage.
Yeah, definitely. It is very important to get those stage points as well as you can. We're still only in the first stage. I know it's starting to wind down here, but these guys seem to, you know, need to make their move shortly. But it isn't like, it's something that you have to worry about right now. But there's still a lot of time in this race.
Definitely a lot of time in the race, but these guys are really going at it. Looks like we are on board with the 99 Dylan Walterman. He's heating up the bumper of the 21 Christopher Heights in front of him. And right now this looks like it is for 15th position. Again, it looks like he's going to make that inside line work just a little bit, try and dip his nose down, get that angle, and try and get that air on the nose. But on that corner exit, it's hard to maintain that lower line because your wheel is turned a little bit more, and if you get on the throttle even too much, you start going loose. You saw it with the 6 of Mark Whitley earlier on, and it looks like the 38 is going to get there involved as well. So we have a three-way battle for the 15th spot. A lot of these cars feeling racy. These guys have been running around for about 17, 18 laps already as we're on lap 19, and these guys also don't want to get too caught too far back because you don't want to end up a lap down, or even that second car a lap down, you miss out on that lucky dog. So right now we've gone green, but that may not always stay with stage end coming in 10 laps. It's going to be risky business as they get down to pit road here, and then on the restart we saw them get a little loose, but they were pretty ordinary and the patience was there. But as the race goes on, the patience will start to deteriorate, and it will be less and less give and much more take.
Well, it looks like we got a battle going on for the lead right now with Mark Whitley and Cedric Hunter. Cedric Hunter is now on the left side, maybe about halfway in the car. So great battle here going for the lead.
And it looks like as we're watching, the 13 gets nearly to the quarter panel of the 6, but was able to keep out of it. He really dove it down in there, trying to get that position. That inside line is key, it seems like, tonight. But look at that. The 13 made a move, and he really had to pull out of it. Look at that much time he lost. And all of a sudden, instead of being the predator, he is the prey. He could be possibly under attack from the 44 of Ray Lane. And as we're watching and riding along on the 5, this is actually working out for the 5, because as these guys battle and do get out, they're going to slow each other down. That's going to help the 5 get closer to this pack of 3 cars at the front. As we are on lap 23, again, 7 laps until the stage break at 30. So these guys, it's getting racy here at the end. Only stage points, but these guys are really going for those points. They know how important those points are.
Yeah, the race is definitely picking up, especially with the top 3 right now. And man, it's almost you can put a blanket over those guys. It's just been a great fun time. Look at Finzer there trying to get game back and try to pick up with the race leaders away to make it a 5-car battle.
And then going on board the roof cam of Ray Lane, we're watching Cedric Hunter again battle and attack for the lead, going to the inside of the 6 of Mark Whitley, but Mark Whitley able to have a little bit better drive off on the corners. I want to say we saw something similar to this last week. Cedric Hunter was definitely really good at getting to the corner and get through there, but Mark Whitley was able to keep the exit. But as we were talking, in the exit of 2, Cedric Hunter makes the move, and Ray Lane looks to capitalize and fill that inside slot where the 6 left, but he's not going to be able to keep it in there. But again, as we're here, a change for the lead. Cedric Hunter to the front. He didn't take half a race like last week. He is there now, looking to get those 10 playoff points at stage end.
Yeah, his car's looking pretty sharp tonight, a little fast, and caught the race leader down and finally got him and finally made that move. So great job done by the 13 car. As here we come into lap traffic now.
And this lap traffic we kind of hit on earlier could be interesting. You kind of want to stay out of the way if you're there, but if you have competitive speed, you want to try and stay on that lead lap or at least stay for the lucky dog. But as we're rolling around here, these guys a blanket here. The 77 Grant Thorpe leading this group of cars. We see the 2 of Morales, the 48 of Parker Johnston, the 4 of Blake Cook. These guys are really racing hard, trying to get into that top 10 spot held by Martin Morales. So the number 2 car is under attack for the last spot in the last point for the playoff stage break. So these guys starting to kick it in gear. We're seeing some cars kind of make their way back up to the front and other cars kind of fade back. So right about this time is really, we see the 76 of Brad Ringer up in 7th, a good mover from 11th, so he's done really well. But these guys really battling hard for that last point.
Yeah, definitely. They're racing hard. Now you got like 4 cars in there battling to try to get that point. So it's really exciting racing here in the back here as we are just racing really good. Underdog Racing.
And as they're watching their hopes go away, the 77 is in fact the 10th position car. So, as we see out of turn 4, the 99 of Dylan Walterman gets on the throttle just a little bit too much and fishtails it, but he was able to gather it back up down the front stretch. But at the conclusion of lap 30, looks like the caution is going to come out for stage break. We have Cedric Connor in the lead, was able to take the lead there at the very end of the stage, but it looks like we're still going green here, so this guy's still racing hard. The caution hasn't come out, so everyone, until that caution does, they are going to keep racing, and there it is. Caution for the stage. Again, first place, Cedric Connor, Mark Whitley in second, and rounding out the top 3, Ray Lane. We have Ian Baker. Looks like he was able to make his way up in 4th at the end of that stage, and Jason Fensler wrapping out the top 10. So we will go to break. These guys will go through pit lane, get a change of tires, splash of fuel, and we will be right back here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Welcome back here to Underdog Racing at Richmond International Raceway. We are coming back after the conclusion of stage one. Cedric Connor, the 13, uh, there in the Lakers scheme, won this stage, but here we are, green, and he shoots out like a rocket. We have 40 laps of this stage break. Billy, this is going to be some good racing. These guys have been really hard racing, but clean racing so far. This restart's going to be great as we're watching already from the chopper as we see the 6 of Mark Whitley spin out of 2 on the backstretch. Oh no, one of our really fast cars is having issues. So Billy again having issues being fast. He's going to get caught up back there. Here we go, and so this is going to be fun to watch him go through the field.
So yeah, so these these are very important. It looks like he maybe missed a gear or something going on. To spin out like that early on in the second stage, maybe a bad restart there, and then I'm sure he'll get it back together for this next one.
That is going to definitely drop him to about 17th. He's going to have his work cut out for him. He may have to use, like he's been doing these past weeks, he's used strategy to get back up there. You may have to do it again this week.
Yeah, it's a tough break, but you have to get yourself collected and then, get right back in there and start doing what you need to do. And these guys, off the restart, a little bit hard. They're going to try again and restart, double stack them, restack them.
And I think the most important part of that is it looks like he has all 4 fenders still pretty straight on that car, so he will be able to make his way up there. He won't have to use that fast repair just yet. But it doesn't look like any of these guys, they just went to pit lane. No strategy taken yet so far. But the caution coming out right after the stage break, all these cars getting close together. We mentioned it before, there was a possibility, so here we are. We're watching the 5 of Jason Fensler being 3rd. He hasn't been in the top 3 all day. He had a rough qualify session. It's going to be fun to see him get up there because Cedric Connor is going to be fast. Ray Lane may not have that early on speed, but Jason Fensler always and already making his way to the front.
Yep, making switches, getting things done, checking everything out and try to get right back in there and try to make his way back up through the top. So we'll see if he can do it. He can do it. He's got a strong enough car to do it.
Definitely strong enough, and as on talking about strong enough, we talk about ButtKicker, Phil, which you've been missing. Every game deserves a truly immersive experience. The ButtKicker Gamer 2 lets you feel every detail, from subtle footsteps to the rumble of a V10 powered race car. From ambient environmental effects to the power of a nearby explosion, it moves a physical mass instead of only air like a traditional speaker. The Gamer 2 provides an instant, accurate, powerful bass response, and it's all perfectly in sync with every game. No additional software required. I know I love mine. You guys check them out, and don't forget to use the discount code FreakyFast20 for 20% off. So here we are. I think this is going to be a butt-kicking restart. We have Jason Fensler there in 3rd. We have Cedric Hunter in 13th with the middleman Ray Lane. Tends to be kind of aggressive, can make mistakes, but also has that speed. So it's going to be fun, Billy, coming to the green here in a little bit, seeing these cars race each other for the lead.
Yeah, it's going to be a great start off again. You got great guys up front here. Cedric Connor, Ray Lane, Jason Fensler, Ian Baker. They were pretty fast in practice tonight. I was watching them there for the first half of the
And then there in the inside 3rd row is the 25, Trevor Earhart, looking to repeat as champion from last season. His competitor there in front of him was the 5, separated by only 2 points. So these guys are going to be racing each other really hard for these points. But as we are rolling around, we see the lights on the pace car have gone out. Pace car making that hard left onto pit lane, and the green is out. 13 with a great launch on the restart. Jason Fensler right behind him, hot on his heels with the 44 of Ray Lane, not quite getting the start he wanted in that outside line. He's going to lose another spot to the 8 of Ian Baker, looks like, on the inside.
Well, he's coming back up. Look at this. He's going, trying to make that outside work and try to keep that position. So great work by the 44 machine of Ray Lane.
Oh, but as they are battling, the leaders are kind of getting away from them. The 44 is going to dip down inside in front of the 8s to take that position. But right now, from 4th on back, it is car on car. It is amazing racing happening bumper to bumper. But as now that we're looking at them, the 8 and the 44 single file, they're starting to catch up to the leaders. But here, looking at the gaggle here, this is a battle for 10th, 11th, 12th. These guys are battling hard before the stage end. Billy, these guys are providing magnificent racing as we see the 6 of Mark Whitley working his way through the field.
Yeah, Mark Whitley trying to Whitney trying to fight back and try to gain his position back up front. This guy's a fast car, and I think he can do it. Get it up there and make a way to the top.
And right there, he is really, you can see he's using the inside line, using the outside line as he's on the outside of the 48 of Parker Johnston. His eyes are set on the 2, though, of Martin Morales. He knows he wants to keep moving, and as they are side by side, it keeps slowing each other down, but it looks like coming out of 4, he's going to have just a bit of an edge on the 48. He's going to look to dive down hard on the inside and cut that lane off, but no, not quite. He's going to stay using that outside line. Oh, really good racing for the 48 and the 6.
Yeah, side by side, he's taking it. 48 backed up just a little bit because he didn't want to spin him out, and these guys are working hard, trying to get right back up to the lead.
And that is the 2, Martin Morales. That is the 10th spot. I know we're early talking about the stage, but it comes in almost a little over 20 laps at lap 70. Mark Whitley wanting those points. He's been really hot, really fast all season. But look at that, the 76 of Brad Ringer. He has moved up through the field quite effectively. He started 11th, stabilized in about 7th, but with the 24, Nick Alva's right in front of him. He's looking to increase his standings for the end of the stage.
Yeah, absolutely. That 76 car of Brad Ringer, I love the old Skull Bandit car, looking pretty good. And giving the run of the money to Nick Alves, who was really fast and qualified. He was really qualified in practice, I'm sorry.
And as we were riding along with Brad Ringer, Mark Whitley moving up another spot, making us move into the top 10 and setting his sights on the 77 of Grant Thorpe. So already Mark making waves, but the 24, Nick Alves, getting kind of a mirrorful of the 76 of Brad Ringer. Brad Ringer looks like he's still entering that corner almost a full lane lower than the 24 in front of him. Billy, these guys are really entering super shallow in some of these corners. It's kind of catching me by a little bit of surprise.
Yeah, especially getting down low on that apron. I know if I was driving, I'd be spinning because I hit that apron and I go round and round.
You don't want to hit the apron, definitely upsets the car. But man, these guys are really pushing each other. So we're looking at the 38 of James Catrone there, just kind of riding. We've said Catrone's name a few times so far this season, but he hasn't quite found the speed this week as he's trying to chase down the 4 of Cook there. So it's interesting to see some of these drivers really excel at some tracks and some, I can't say flounder, but struggle at others. Richmond is definitely one of those tracks, Billy, that take a little bit of getting used to. Definitely its own style of racing, like you mentioned, the super speedway of short track. So kind of what to expect at a night like tonight.
Yeah, look at Cody Dorsey there. He's driving that 84 machine. He's just trying to run his lap, try to hit his marks, and maybe he'll have to make some adjustments here to get up there, but he's riding really race and clean, doing a clean laps here.
And that is sometimes all you need to do is have clean laps and maybe a little bit of luck. Some of your competitors have some issues, move up some spots, and it looks like that's right now Cody Dorsey's thought process is just keep the fenders clean and straight. But right now it looks like Jason Fensler's creeping up on the tail of 13, Cedric Connor about quarter of a second behind, kind of almost shadowing that line, but not letting them get too far there is the 44 of Ray Lane. These guys racing clean, but we saw how Cedric Connor kind of creeped up on Mark Whitley last stage. The 5 adjacent Fencer looks to do the same, but stage break at 70. Bill, if he's going to make a move, he's got to do it now, I think, before it's too late and these tires going to wear out.
Yeah, definitely. You're going to have to go now. This is a very important lap here to get up, get your speed, and try to get around this 13 machine. And the 5 car is, remember, he started about 5th or 6th in the field tonight, and he made his way back up to get that, get up and catch Cedric Hunter. So he's doing a good job doing what he's doing, hitting his marks, and keeping it clean to try to gain advantage in the first place.
And interesting fact, Cedric Hunter has started second in these past 2 races, has finished second. So the curse of the second for Cedric Hunter, definitely wanting to break that. But someone not liking the view in front of him is the 25 of Trevor Earhart. He's definitely in there in 5th, but as he's watching the top 4 cars kind of get away from him, he's hasn't struggled, had kind of a rough qualifying lap, but definitely may have recovered. But he's definitely looking for this stage to get these cars bunched up and move forward too.
Yeah, maybe he needs some adjustments here to help him out here. Maybe his tires are, time for a change. But yeah, I mean, the 25 car there, he needs some motivation to get him right back up to the top, especially the last year's champion. As we look at the 77 machine and Grant Thorpe, he's been pouring a conversation between last week and this week.
And Grant Thorpe started 15th, but hot on his bumper is the 6 of Mark Whitley, having an incident to cause our last caution. He was back there in 17th, and right now he is trying to push the envelope for 8th. So Mark making a great run back to the front with the stage end coming in about 8 laps. Definitely fun to see him race. He's been able to make every line work, inside, outside, make every pass as we see him go to the inside of the 77 into turn 1. So Mark Whitley is tuned up and charging through the field at the end of the stage.
Yeah, his car looks pretty good. Looks like he's got that clean line of racing, and he's navigating through the traffic here to gain himself back up in the front. And looks like he might be here, when stage 3. So he's in a good position.
And definitely in 8th there now, making that pass of the 77, making that 1 extra point for the stage, and sending his sights on the cars in front of him, though, of that of Brad Ringer and the 24 of Nick Alves. Those guys have had good nights, but definitely don't want to lose any more spots to, of course, the 6, being fast as he is.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys definitely want to... 76 car, I'd be trying to do my best to keep that position without losing any position. So hopefully these guys could, keep him down. I guess that would be the, Hunter and Fenzer. That's what they're hoping, that this guy gets a little back there, so maybe they won't have to deal with him tonight.
You say that, but Mark Whitley, Cedric Hunter, Jason Fensler, we've been saying their names all season long, even though it is a young season. These guys have been on in really pushing each other to the best as we watch the 6 of Mark Whitley make the pass around the 76, the 77 of Grant Thorpe looking to make a move but deciding better of it. But the cream of the crop rises to the top, and the 6 is one of those cases. He has that speed, and having some issues having to march to the back of the field is just fun to watch him go. Haven't seen any major wrecks, no major bumping, so these guys really racing clean and still be able to pass.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great night racing. We only had one real caution tonight. The other one was stage, so they're driving really good, and I'm quite surprised with the amount of great racing here tonight.
And that is true. We've seen them side by side and seen them get close. We saw the 13 get close as well, but seeing the 11 of Peyton Presley there in 15th. He's moved up. He's qualified 18th, so he's doing better than what he started, but he really wants well, kind of out of the field, the possibility. 2 laps to go in the stage. So those stage points just not going to happen. But it looks like the pass for the lead isn't going to happen either, as the 13 is pulled away from the 5, but the 5 under attack by the 44. Interesting situation with Ray Lane. He's been a fast all night, qualified in the top 3, but now he's trying to chase down one of our fastest drivers in the league, looking to make that pass for second and that one extra bonus point at the stage.
Yeah, absolutely. That's where the closest race is here tonight so far. These two guys are going to battle and try to see if that 44 machine of Ray Lane can get around the 5. But with only 1 lap to go, he's got a couple turns left here to see if he can make that happen.
And as we're talking here, we're seeing lap traffic start to congest the track just a little bit. The 3 of Sirkovich trying to be that first car at lead lap. He was caught in an incident early that did not bring out a caution. So he's just trying his best just to stay on the lead lap, but he will go another lap down with that pass by the 13. But it looks like the caution is going to come out for stage break. There you are, the number 13 of Cedric Connor winning the stage. The number 5 of Jason Fenzer holding off the 44 of Ray Lane for that second position. Ian Baker in 4th, and Trevor Earhart wrapping out our top 5. These guys are going to hit pit road to get gas and tires. We will be right back here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting here in a minute. Good evening, race fans, and welcome back to the Underdog Racing League. We have just gone green. You saw it there, the 13 of Cedric Hunter really shooting out there again on the restart. The 5 of Jason Fensler, second, hot on his heels. And then the rest of the field trying to organize themselves. Billy, this is the last stage, 50 laps. I'm hearing the fuel window is about 65 to 67, so fuel run, this is it. Leave it all on the track and get your position.
Yeah, now it's the time to charge. Charge. These guys are going to have to get there. And right now, look at the 6 car. He's already up in 4th position right now. That's truly amazing after the rank that he had here earlier tonight.
And really, the 4 fastest cars we've had all night are in the 4 top spots. That being the 13, the 5, the 44, and the 6. Again, the 6 being caught up in an incident early on in the race. Falling back to 17th. Now he's in 4th, so definitely a huge story. But as we're watching, we're seeing the 9 of Justice Murphy battle the 76 of Brad Ringer. We've said Brad Ringer's name a few times tonight. This is right around the battle for 10th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th. These guys are really, really hammering on each other now. We saw the 9 get into the bumper there, the 76 try again to get to the inside. So these guys, patience is out the window, Billy. They are racing to the end.
Yeah, that's what you want to see. That's what you want to see, especially if you're a spectator. You know, you want to see that close racing. You want to see some action on the track. You know, not saying that there was no other action on the track, but these guys are doing really well. It's no holds barred coming to the end.
And as we're watching this battle develop, the battle for 3rd is getting heated. The 44 and the 6 have been fighting back and forth. We're riding along here. You can see those 2 cars off in the distance as their 2 leaders in their league of their own, separating from the rest of the field. As we've seen before, Billy, the 13 and the 5 fighting. The 6 just trying to make a pass to get up there, but can't quite make it clean. Definitely seeing those cars in front of you kind of makes your gut sink, because you just know you want to get up there, but trying to pass these other cars makes it difficult.
Yeah, it surely does. I mean, especially with, you know, the limited amount of space. I mean, we've saw almost 3 wide at one point between guys, and that's, you know, a little risky. You know, 3 wide won't work here.
And as we're on the roof cam looking back at the 8 of Ian Baker, we have talked about, he has pretty much stayed up in the top 5 all night. He's had a good run by himself, staying up there, getting those stage points. He has had some moments where he shined earlier on in the season, but he has made some mistakes. He's gotten into the wall. He's pushed it a little hard. Earlier, we saw him getting a little squirrely on corner exits, so he's trying to make the pass here on Ray Lane for that 4th position. These guys not giving at all. It's all take, and they want to take that position.
Yeah, they surely do. You know, and now you look at the 76 and the 9 car here doing battle on the track. So trying to get that position, the Skull Bandit there trying to move up and move down. So he's trying to, you know, work that racetrack as best as he can to keep that position.
And that's on board with Nick Alves. He seems to be struggling earlier on in the run, as we're seeing the 38 of James Catrone kind of wandering into the frame there. But these guys have been battling ever since the green flag dropped, and it really has not disappointed. Side-by-side racing positions have been swapping back and forth, but no incidents, no bumping, no banging, no spinning so far in this stage. But that is going to change as we get closer and closer to the end of this race.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's going to be somebody who's not going to be patient enough to, you know, they're going to force a move here shortly here with laps winding down as we're at lap 88 here of 120. So things are going to get a little tighter here, and man, we're in store for some good racing. Look at the 9 car again. He's with that 38 car, and they're just battling back and forth for that position.
And there is almost zero space between him as we're watching the 48 of Parker Johnston try and maybe get his nose in there and put his name in the ring for that spot. But something I've seen all night, Billy, is once you get side by side and you're contending for that spot, not only you slowing yourself down, but you're slowing both of you down. being side by side really slows these cars down, even trying to make a pass. I've noticed it as we watch the 9 of Justice Murphy finally complete that pass, but the 38 going to try and do a crossover. Going side by side really slows you down. It slows the cars behind you down, so you don't want to do that too long because someone will eventually give you that bumper.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, side by side racing, definitely the leaders are running away while you're playing around, with that. So you want to choose your choices very carefully. Look at this. Now we have a 4-car battle now because of this side by side that's going on.
And that's Blake Cook there in the 4 machine into the frame as these 4 cars are all battling back and forth. The 9 of Justice Murphy will get forward. He had a mistake in the last end, but it looks like he's now going to get under attack by the 48. If he doesn't get down, the 4 of Blake Cook's going to take advantage of that spot, as well as the inside line has been ideal. We have seen some cars take the outside line, but it's not for any real extended period of time, Billy. This has been a inside line dominant track.
Yeah, I mean, right now, look at that 9 car. He's going to be probably using all of his tires just to keep that position. So that's going to be another key. When will these tires fall off? Will they have to pit just to get tires because it'll fall off since they're already good on fuel?
It all depends on if a caution falls. If a caution falls, and I do see some people trying to take tires, but we are on board with the 4 of Blake Cook, trying to take advantage of the hole left open by Justice Murphy. Justice Murphy has lost about 3 spots now in this last 5 laps or so, and as we are on board again, we see Justice Murphy falling back. The cars that have already passed him really getting out there, so again, going to demonstrate how side-by-side racing, you got to make that pass and got to make it quickly, or else not only you, but the other guys get to lose spots too.
Yeah, and then while that's all happening, then you're losing the car in front of you. So because you're going by side, so it's just hard. Now it's make what you can, or we're kind of stuck with what you got. So we're at lap 95, so it's getting closer to the end, and some of these drivers are going to be a little heartbroken. So tough night for them, especially in the back.
Talking about a tough night as we are watching the 2 of Martin Morales trying to make the move on the 11. Martin, we've talked about kind of holding that 10th spot solid all night long. He finds himself down in 17th, so he has not had the good luck this past stage cycle, and he's trying to claw back up. But the further back you get, the harder it is to make these passes. All these drivers just trying to race for pride, and everyone wants to finish better than where they're running. So it's difficult to make these passes sometimes, especially when you have your contenders all really trying to fight each other.
Yeah, no, I agree. Now you're at the point where, okay, well, you want to race for pride, right? But you're also racing for next year or the next time you're at this track, trying to take notes on what you need to do better, the next time around. So I'm pretty sure some of these guys are like saying, okay, well, if I'm not running very well here tonight, let me make some notes and see what I could do.
And that is such a good point, Billy. Any track time is good track time, as we're watching the 14 of Scott Kerberg make just some pretty steady laps around the track. And like you said, just getting through it, getting that experience. Some of these guys, rookies, or maybe not quite used to the track as some of our veterans. The 25 of Trevor Earhart, I would say, is one of those veteran guys, as is Ian Baker. But these guys really trying to get the track time. That is a good point, and it never hurts to get extra practice in around a track with some traffic.
Yeah, I mean, having that live action, too. When you're doing your practice by yourself, you don't have that AI to help you out. So racing against these guys, especially in the backfield, just trying to get some more experience on how to pass other drivers, how to run in traffic. A lot of people struggle with that.
One who hasn't struggled tonight with that is Mark Whitley, the number 6. He had an incident earlier, fell back to 17th, finds himself in 3rd behind this 5 of Jason Fensler. He got past the 44 of Ray Lane earlier, but the 44 has not given him any kind of room. He's kind of shadowed him. So if Mark Whitley were to make a mistake, the 44 is going to be there to capitalize.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why you got to run your race and hit your marks, especially, if you're in the top 4 or top 5. You've got to make sure that you're running clean efficient laps right now as the 13 car is just broken out from Finzer right now. So he is, wow, pretty good. You could put like 2 or 3 tractor trailers in between first and second right now.
That is nearly a second and a quarter separation between him and the second place of Jason Fensler. But the 6th of Mark Whitley is kind of rolling down the 5 right now. It could be an interesting battle for second here in a few laps before the end of the race. And interesting to see Jason Fensler at the end of the run be under attack in this situation. You don't see it very often.
No, you don't. And, you know, it was a great recovery from that 6 car as we're on board with him right now. He's trying to trace that 5 car. And, you know, when you're looking from this view, look how dirty the track is. There is so much rubber buildup on the inside and the outside of the track. Man, you get up there to that wall, man, you could spin out.
And speaking of spinning out, the 5 nearly did it coming out of 4. Put down a little too much throttle, got a little squirrely, and that allowed the 6 to get to the bumper. But here we are, lap traffic making an impact with 15 laps to go in the race. How can you get through this lap traffic smoothly and efficiently is going to be key, as the 6 is right on the bumper of the 5 as they go into 1 with the 14 a lap car. Scott Kerberg into 1. This is going to be interesting. 3 wide doesn't normally work at Richmond, but they are going to try it.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do what you got to do right now. Lap traffic was trying to hold on to the position, and look at that. He made a pick. So, you know, Mark Whitley, he made that pick and was able to increase his position by 1.
And that was a classic pick move. And there's nothing that can be said against the 14 of Scott Kerberg. He kept his line, held his line. Really, that was just really a great executed move by the 6. I think Jason Fensler might have made the wrong decision, may have misjudged where that corner was, and that allowed the 6 to get to that quarter. But he's fallen back even from the 6, and soon is going to be under attack by the 44 of Ray Lanes. So I think the 5 long run speed just isn't there tonight.
No, definitely not. Maybe his tires, maybe he used up his tires here, which could be a possibility because he was, you know, in that position, so running his car a little wild here. But yeah, you could definitely see that he is slowing down here.
And it could be the fact that the lap traffic, but he's kind of fallen off. He was really on the bumper of Cedric Hunter for the first half of this run, really since the stage break ended. So him falling back like this does tend to make me believe that he did burn those tires off a little early, trying to make the pass on the 13 early on in the race.
Yeah, most definitely. You know, and now he's being, well, the lap traffic is still bothering him, and he might even lose a position with, well, he won't lose a position, but looks like he'll lose some more gaps here, as that 38 car there is really giving him a challenge right now.
And it is so interesting as we're watching the 44 of Ray Lane. He's peeking on that inside, going into 1. The 5 going to shut the door, but he's going to have the run off, still on that inside corner. So here we go into 3, the 44 with the position, but the 5 just hanging on just barely, but the 44 is going to get in there. And with a great exit of quarter 4, he's going to be side by side with the 5 for 3rd place.
Wow, that is truly amazing. Yeah, they're still fighting though. He's not giving up yet. And very close to each other right there. So hopefully, oh, the 5 car just may have hit the wall.
Ooh, a little damage. He really can't do anything about that now. He's struggling with that car. Getting some outside wall rub isn't going to hurt it too incredibly bad, I don't think, but definitely going to hurt Jason's pride a little bit more, because I know he wanted to be up there racing for the lead.
Yeah, most definitely, sure. Now they're nose to tail again back there, so we're seeing it. But how about a great job by Mark Whitley there, the 6 machine, rolling around, doing well. There's Ian Baker there, that 8 car. He is pretty consistent, man. He's been, looks like he's going to catch the 5 car. Wouldn't that be great for Ian?
Ian Baker making a pass on the 5. That'd be great. He's a newcomer to this league this season. We haven't seen a lot of him racing, but as we are watching the 99 and Dylan Walterman go another lap down, just trying to stay out of the way, Ian has had a great night tonight. So definitely kudos to the 8. Maybe he can make that pass, but it looks like the 5 is kind of balanced out at the moment and just riding around.
Yeah, he sure is. I don't know. We'll see if that Ian Baker can make that move here as we've got 6 to go here at Richmond tonight. It's getting down to as laps are, falling apart there.
And the 13 has just about 2 1/4 second lead on the the 6 of Mark Whitley. So Cedric Hunter has checked out. Earlier we mentioned he's qualified twice. He's finished second twice. He's definitely looking to snap that streak and make it a win tonight. Looks like he is on board to do, but here we are at the 25. Trevor Earhart in 6th, under attack by Grant Thorpe in the 77. Grant Thorpe trying to make a move on our series champion from last year. Wouldn't that be a feather in his cap, Billy, to be able to say, I beat a champion?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you definitely want to try to get him now. The 77 car, I mean, he was pretty good last week, and now trying to get up there, trying to make that pass, and hopefully can, but I think he got a little loose there.
And I've been watching this run go along, Billy. These cars have gotten much, much looser through the run, and they're really having a hard time keeping the rear end down on the track. But as we are watching, that's the 13. We are 2 to go here at Richmond with a 2-second lead. He's just trying to get through this lap traffic nice and clean, not cause any issues. He is in no danger of getting caught by any of his opponents behind him. And here we are with the freaky fast white flag, 1 to go here at Richmond.
Yeah, and I think the 13 car is not going to run out of gas tonight. So it looks pretty solid here, coming to the close of the race of the Underdog Racing League.
And definitely a walk-off win for the 13. Again, a little under 2 seconds. Mark Whitley tried to make a little bit of a race, but I think possibly the 13 wins it here at Richmond, though. No debate who was fastest. He got out front early on in the race and held the lead all race long. Ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at your winner, the 13, Cedric Hunter. Mark Whitley, the 6, coming in 2nd, and then Jason Fenzer coming in 4th, it looks like, being beat by Raylan in 3rd. So we will be right back with your top 3 after a short message. Welcome back, race fans. You have just watched the conclusion of 120 laps here at Richmond International Raceway. Here coming up, we are going to have our third place finisher, the 44 of Ray Lane. Ray, how's it going? You held on for third. You guys had a top three car all day. How did you do it?
Uh, I guess just saving tires, honestly. Be honest.
Hey, Ray,
Go ahead.
tonight you did a great bang up job. How does it feel to you know, get further than Jason Fenzer tonight? I mean, that's got to be something big feather in your hat, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, I knew Jason would run me clean. What happened last week, I ain't mad about it. Just Cedric ran out of gas, but I felt like I could have had my first one last week, but I'll get it eventually. So
You'll definitely get it, Ray. Maybe next week at the Roval. How do you feel about that track? The first road course of the season.
you can count me out of that one. I am not no road course racer. I'll
Well,
be
that's
honest there.
honesty's always good, Ray. Of course, before I let you go, anyone you want to give a shout out to tonight?
I just want to give a shout out to y'all for broadcasting it, the league for putting on the races, and I mean everybody done a great job tonight. And I was proud of it. So, and to my teammates, and that's about it.
All right, sounds good. We'll see you next week, Ray, at the Oval if we see you there.
All right, man. I'll be there, but I don't know how I'll do.
All right, then. Good luck.
All right, let's see.
And that was the 44 of Ray Lane, our third place finisher. Up next is the 6 of Mark Whitley. Mark, tell us how your night went, having that issue earlier on in the run, coming back from 17th to finish second tonight. How did that go?
Well, it was going great until I decided to run out of talent and get stubborn and stick my foot in the gas and not take it off and went back to 17th. That was an interesting climb back through the field, able to get up to I think 6th or 7th for the stage. So that worked out. Still kind of kicking myself because that pretty much the way the race was going, that pretty much took any chance I had to win the race out because eventually, a couple runs in, at the last run, I was able to work my way back up to second, but at that point, I mean, I was just matching lap times with Cedric. He'd be a little bit faster one lap. I'd be a little bit faster next lap, and I really just needed a caution there the last 5 laps just to give me any kind of chance. And just kind of frustrating because I feel like this is one of my better tracks, and to make that kind of a mistake, it just kind of grinds my gears. Kind of makes me want to, I don't know, just it's one of those things where it's like I was running second, trying to get too much, trying to get a little bit extra, and just push it just over the edge a little bit.
Um, Mark, I mean, you had a great night. I mean, you have to say that you had a great night. Yeah, I mean, you're kind of disappointed, but you got a podium finish. Coming through the field from 17 down. I mean, that was just quite remarkable racing. Um, did your did you lose your tires towards the end, or what happened to get you lose some gains there?
Yeah, just coming back through the field. It was just about picking spots. I know there was a couple times where I had to run behind some people for about 5, 6 laps just to set them up because this track's it's kind of it's a short track, but it also has a little bit of momentum to it. If you don't get a good run off these corners, you can get past in a heartbeat going into one of these corners, especially turn one. It almost invites a dive bomb if you're close. So I was just trying to pick my way through traffic, try to just roll the center, not try to eat the right front up because I feel like I did that a little bit in that first run. That's how Cedric got back by me for the first stage, but put a little bit of rear brake in it, just trying to not use the right front up as much and just picking spots. I mean, I probably forced the issue a couple times, just being a little aggressive, trying to get power to pass. But at that point, I was so mad with myself. I'm sure you've heard the old expression, something off racing. Starts with a P, ends with a D. I was definitely racing a little mad, so I feel like that probably helped me a little bit. And then on that last run, I started sixth, and I just kind of picked my way through it and got by Ray, and me and him kind of ran together. And I think Finsler burned his stuff off, and I just was able to get by him. And like I said, Cedric, he was so good. He's always good at holding his tires. So I mean, I feel like our tires were probably about even at the end, but he had such a gap. I mean, it didn't really matter. He was just cruising at that point.
Well, I know it was fun to watch from the booth, Mark. Before we let you go, anyone you want to make a shout out to tonight?
Oh yeah, big shout out Harpoon Designs, Angry Duck Graphics, both of them on the car. Harpoon doing the design. Uh, Always great. Check him out, harpoondesign.com. He does custom stuff, or he also has a bunch on trade and paint. And if you want to trying to find someone to make a T-shirt for you, custom T-shirt, for a school or team or what have you, get up with a shopangryduck.com. They can make a custom T-shirt for you, and there's no order limit, so you can go in there and just order whatever size you want. No order limits on there. And then big shout out to my family, always tuning in these races. They're always pretty supportive. I know second place, normally you're pretty happy with it, but honestly, I'm kind of bummed with it because I feel like we had a good car. We could maybe win, but then shout out for y'all for this broadcast. It should be fun to go back and watch. Interesting to see what it looked like from y'all's point of view.
Definitely fun to watch. Thank you, Mark. Mark Whitley, ladies and gentlemen, from our second place here at Richmond. But here coming up
I got one
is.
more. Sorry, I remember one more. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Also, Driven Motorsports, Danny Lawson. He was doing a great spotting job first half of the race, and then Jonathan Smith doing the spotting at the end of that. I got to give him a shout out real quick. Sorry.
Oh, no problem, Mark. Anytime. You take it easy.
All right, later, guys.
Again, that was Mark Whitley, but now up here in the booth with us will be the 13, Cedric Hunter. Cedric, congratulations on your win tonight, sir. You were pretty much the most dominant car out there. How did it feel being able to lead pretty much the majority of that race?
It felt awesome. I didn't have to worry about fuel tonight, so that's a bonus. But yeah, I felt really good, man. Coming into this race, wasn't quite sure. I didn't feel like I was going to win. I even told Zach before the race that something just kind of felt off. I know I'm usually fast at this track, but for some reason I was expecting something to not go my way. But thankfully, it all did, and we were finally able to collect that victory.
Man, you were rocking and rolling tonight. That 13 car again looking sharp. That Lakers paint scheme you got on there, pretty cool. So you were fast tonight. What's going to happen next week when you're at the Roval?
Oh, that's right. We're going to the Roval. I completely forgot. Oh, that should be fun. I'm not the fastest guy on road courses, but I think I can hold my own. So I'm hoping that I can go in there and get a back-to-back win. But the Roval should be interesting. I'm not particularly great there, but I guess I'm again not the worst. So yeah, hopefully I can get back-to-back wins.
The Roval always is a kind of a game changer for us oval racers. Anyone you want to make a shout out to tonight, Cedric?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to give a huge shout out to all the drivers out there. We went green for pretty much the entire race, other than the cautions and then I guess some are getting loose or hitting the apron or something like that. So we kept it green. I was hoping that we would. Coming down to it, that was the one thing I was praying for. Just let it go green. Let me finally win this race without any any surprises or anything like that. So I also want to give a huge shout out to Brandon Colley, who was my spotter tonight. He gave me a lot of good information and kind of feedback on what the guys in the field are doing and how I can improve and just information as a whole, good information. So thank you to him. Huge shout out to you guys. I was told Brandon was watching, and I was told that you guys are doing a wonderful job. So I'm excited to go back later and watch it. So thank you for everything you guys do, and shout out to all the fans out there. Thank you so much for tuning in on a weekly basis, and hopefully you guys will see me victory lane next week at the Roval.
Awesome, Cedric. Again, congratulations on the win and enjoy it. Ladies and gentlemen, that was our race winner, the 13 of Cedric Hunter. So tonight we have had a great night of racing, but let's see how it shook out for the rest of the field. Of course, the top three with the 13 taking the win. Mark Whitley in second, Ray Lane in third. Jason Fensler fell back to fourth towards the end of that run. Ian Baker finishing fifth. Trevor Earhart finishing sixth. Grant Thorpe in seventh. Nick Alves in eighth. Brad Ringer in ninth. And Parker Johnston in 10th. And definitely a couple of the guys that interesting was Brad Ringer. We mentioned his name a couple times throughout. He kind of finished outside the top 10. Martin Morales kind of had a rough break there towards the end of the run. He ran top 10 most of the day, finished in 16th. So, Billy, what do you think about this race and how it kind of evolved through the night? Some of these cars getting faster, other cars getting slower.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great night of racing from one. We only had one caution tonight. So I was expecting more, but it was a great clean racetrack. Everybody hitting their marks. I mean, you had ups and you had downs. But more ups, tonight. So, especially with the 13 car, he was dominating here tonight towards the later, since the second stage. So he's been rocking and rolling, and what great racing. I mean, this is Richmond. So on this 3.25 mile track, it was just great night of racing.
Great night of racing indeed. And before I send things back up to our producer, Robert Moyer Jr., got to do a shout out to one of our sponsors, Advanced Sim Racing. Founded in 2020, Advanced Sim Racing is the fastest growing North American racing simulation chassis manufacturer and digital motorsports equipment retailer. They are owned and operated by passionate sim racers like you and me. The company designs and builds the sturdiest, most durable aluminum profile racing simulation cockpits available. Go ahead and check them out. Don't forget, at the end of your purchase, type out Freaky Fast 5 for 5% off of your order. So with that shout out, I'm going to send things back up to our producer, Robert Moyer Jr. Robert, take it away.
All right. Thank you, Carl. Thank you, Billy, for calling tonight's action here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting with Underdog Racing League. Hopefully everybody enjoyed tonight's content here with Underdog Racing League. And congratulations to Cedric Hunter. Started out of the season, always finishing second. Well, finally, he's not the bridesmaid anymore. He finally gets the victory here at Richmond International Speedway, or Richmond Raceway now, I guess they call it. So, congratulations to him. Good racing by everybody. We had one yellow with that one spin with Mark Whitley, and then we had two more yellows with just the stages. So overall for Richmond, packing in 23 cars is actually really, really good if you ask me. It's that's something else. It's this track here can be tough to run on here. But like I said, congratulations to everybody out there, and thank you everybody out there for tuning in. Don't forget, if you go back and watch this stream and you make it to it this far, we do much appreciate it. And if you don't mind hitting that like button and also hit that share button there on YouTube, on your phone or your iPhone, and share it to your favorite social media platforms of your choosing. We do much appreciate that. And the league also appreciates that and help them get views and the word out about Underdog Racing League, as they are here every Wednesday night on Freaky Fast Broadcasting with the Xfinity cars. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, our next televised broadcast here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting will be tomorrow night with Stars and Stripes, when we have Sam Dyers and Zach Hall calling all the action. And I'm telling you what, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you tune in tomorrow night at 9:20, because it's never disappointing with them guys. We don't know what's going to go, who's going to win. It is crazy. It comes down to the very end of the race. It is nuts. That's all I can say. So if you want to see some more action here of racing on iRacing, make sure you come and check them out tomorrow night here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting on YouTube. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get ready to sign off here from the virtual side of Richmond Raceway. Hopefully everybody has a great rest of their Wednesday night. We will catch you Thursday night. But until then, like we always like to say here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting to everybody out there, God bless you. Love yous all. Peace out.